Hi, everybody, if there's anyone watching. Today I thought I'd do the Booktube Newbie Tag as my very first video. I have some actual Booktube videos planned that will be coming. So I thought I'd start out my Booktube journey with the Booktube Newbie Tag, because if anyone's a Booktube newbie, I suppose it's me, right? So the Booktube Newbie Tag. It's a tag that was created by, I forgot her name. I looked it up. I'll write it in the description. The video is unlisted, so I won't link to it because I'm assuming she doesn't want people to watch it. But I'll write her name down there at least, so you know that I'm acknowledging her as the creator. The first question is, why did you start this channel? So I started watching Booktube this year. I didn't really know it was a thing before this year. It wasn't something that I watched. But over the course of this year and in quarantine and all that, I got completely obsessed with Booktube. I just got this desire to want to be a part of it, to just add something to it, or just, put my 2 cents in. I don't know. I just want to be a part of it somehow. That's why I started this channel. Question 2. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? And now this is the hard one, and this is the reason why I didn't do this sooner, is because I don't have a good answer to this. I don't really know why one would choose to watch me instead of other people. I don't really know in what way I would be better than anyone else. So I don't really know. Or maybe that's the wrong approach. Why do I have to be better than anyone else to get to do this, A new set of eyes on things that everyone's read, but that I don't really know anything about, maybe. Someone whom you can feel superior over because you've read a lot more than me. Someone whose naivete and lack of knowledge could be funny. I don't really know, guys. I just wanted to do this. I don't know. I don't really have a good reason. But honestly, I don't think you should have to have a good reason to join Booktube. I think you should just want to do it. And so that's what I'm doing. Question 3. What are you most excited about for this new channel? I don't really know. It's something that's brand new to me. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch. Honestly, I doubt it. If someone does, then I'm very excited to see how they feel about what I say, and having a conversation in the comments and all that. Very excited about that. If someone watches, if no one watches, then I just like talking to myself. I guess, why not do that to a camera, I suppose. Why not? Question 4 is, why do you love reading? It's a profound question. It's at the core of your being somehow. I've always loved reading. I can't remember a time when I wasn't reading. Isn't there that quote from some book that's a man who reads lives 1,000 lives, but a man who doesn't read lives only one, or something like that? That's really profound to me. I don't like how short life is. I don't like how finite it is. So reading for me is a way to kind of extend your life in a way, or to get to experience more in life than you otherwise would have, maybe. Also, it's just fun. It doesn't have to be that deep. I just enjoy reading because it's enjoyable. Question 5 is, what book or series got you into reading? And as I said, I don't remember a time when I wasn't reading, so it's very hard for me to answer this question because I don't know. I don't remember a time not reading. I think the Harry Potter series was big. I remember that I was reading that series at a very young age. There's a picture of me at, I think, 7 years old, and I'm reading the 4th or 5th book in that picture. So I started reading the Harry Potter books early. So I think that had a big impact on my reading, the Harry Potter books. And I'm not sure if that was, the catalyst, but it was an important beginning in a way. Question 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? It's a hard one. These questions are hard. I should have thought out my answers more before filming this. but I'd ask them like, how the hell do you read so much? Like, how do you have the time? How do you make it happen? And I know they've all made videos like how to read more, but so I guess I kind of know the answer. Like, it's not actually a mystery, but I still, like, I look at their numbers and I'm like, how? At least the ones that have other full-time jobs, because like if YouTube is your full-time job and like being a booktuber is your full-time job, then I kind of get it, like how you have time to read a lot. But the people who have, you know, like full-time jobs and stuff, like I don't get it. Like I don't get it. But so maybe if they could better explain that to me, I'd appreciate it. But that's the only thing that comes to mind right now. Okay, question 7 is like, what challenges do you think would be hardest to overcome in starting a booktube channel? I don't know, like self-criticism. I don't know, it's probably come across pretty well in this video that I don't really think I'm qualified to be doing this. So I think I just need to let go of that kind of stuff and realize that lots of people are on the internet saying stuff that they're not qualified to say. Like, you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to read hundreds of books a year just to be allowed to be on the internet talking about books. Like, there's no criteria that you have to fulfill. So I think I need to get that through my head and not be so self-critical. And, well, I haven't edited this yet, but I think editing myself will be a lot. I'm not a good editor. I've never had to edit myself. I don't really look forward to that. I think that will be quite a struggle to overcome, but hopefully I'll be able to deal with that and it won't be quite so bad. Question 8 is, when did you start reading? And I feel like I've touched on this, but I don't really remember. I think my mother taught me how to read when I was like 3.5, 4, but I mean, I was like sounding out letters. Like I wasn't reading books or anything. But so I learned how to read at a very young age. And reading, you know, it's been a big part of my life. Like, I've been reading for a long time, but I've been reading a lot less actively since I got my first like computer, honestly. Like when I got my first laptop when I was like 13, 14, I feel like my reading really dipped. And then it dipped again when I started college, and suddenly I was reading a lot for class, right? Like, reading felt like a chore, so I didn't want to read. And when I was reading, I'd just kind of go to my shelf and like look and be like, okay, what do I want to read? So I'd just pick up a book that I'd already read that I knew was good, and I'd reread. And so for the last, 5+ years, probably even more than that, I feel like I haven't read much new stuff, or like stuff that's new to me, especially not newly published stuff. Like I'm not with it. I'm just way behind, and I've realized that now, starting to watch Booktube this year, that I am just so behind. And I feel stressed out about it, but I also feel, you know, happy that I have so much to discover. And I guess that's kind of what, if I keep making YouTube videos, which I'm hoping, that's kind of the purpose of this channel in a way, to kind of document me like discovering all the things that everybody else has already read because I'm so far behind. Okay, question 9 is, where do you read? And I generally read at home. I think most people do. Most of the time I think I read on the couch, which is fine. That's just kind of where it ends up being. Sometimes I'll read in bed. I don't usually read like right before I go to sleep because I'm usually so tired that I'll just fall asleep right away. But sometimes I read like in bed, like lying on the bed. Occasionally I'll read like on a train or on a bus if I'm going somewhere, but most of the time I'm reading like on my couch. Question 10, last question. What kind of books do you like to read? And this is a big question. I kind of identify as a fantasy reader. Most of what I'm drawn towards and most of what I want to add to my Goodreads list is fantasy, primarily high fantasy. I'm not super drawn to urban fantasy, but I'm open to it, but it's not my fave. So fantasy, definitely love fantasy. I also really enjoy some classics and some like historical fiction. I've gotten really interested in thrillers recently. I haven't read a lot, but her premises are always so intriguing. It's like you hear about a thriller and you're like, wow, That sounds like fun. Like, that sounds intriguing. So I'm definitely open to reading more of that. Not really like a contemporary or like romance reader. I'm not dead set against it, but it's not something that I'm generally very drawn towards. I've never really been that into sci-fi. I'm starting to get more open to it, so maybe, we'll see. Yeah, fantasy, but really I'm open to most things, and I'm not well read in anything. I'm not well read in fantasy. I haven't really read anything, but I'm looking forward to reading more, and I am reading, and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. Reading is amazing, and I've really fallen back in love with reading since the start of 2019. Was really a shift for me, so I'm really enjoying it. I know maybe I'm a little stoic. I think it's because I'm European. I'm hoping to really document how much I love reading on this channel and how excited I am about catching up or trying to catch up. I'll never catch up, but trying to, be part of the movement. I don't know. If you're watching this, if someone's out there watching this, I'd love it if you stay tuned. I'll be doing some videos about books, going forward. I have a few ideas in mind now over the holidays where I'm not really doing much else. So hopefully you'll stick around, and I'll be back with more.